Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making spicy chicken sandwiches inspired by Popeyes. So to start with, we're going to take about 5 chicken breasts. This is going to make 5 sandwiches for your family. That way I figured it was a good number to start with. You can add more chicken to this if you want to. Go ahead and cut off all the fat pieces, get the tough parts off of the breasts. If you are cutting these up, you'll know where all the fat is, but you also need to go to the edge of the chicken to see if there are hard parts that need to be cut off, because nobody wants to bite into a chicken sandwich and get that hard part that's right on the edge of it. So go through, if there's excess skin on these, make sure you cut it off and trim them down to where all you have basically is the actual breast meat. You don't want anything else on these. And as you can see, I trimmed a little bit of skin off the top of one. You just need to look for that before you go forward and everything is all cut up. Now what we're going to do to make these a little more tender is we're going to put them in a Ziploc bag and then we're going to pound them out. When you do this, you're actually flattening the chicken a little bit and it's going to fit better on your bun, but it's going to become wider, and that's something good. But pounding them also makes sure that they're tender, there are no real tough pieces in it, and if there was anything that was there that kind of was a tough edge, you're going to take it out by beating on these. The good thing is, if you use a Ziploc bag, you only probably need one Ziploc bag for this whole thing, because mine was pretty sturdy. So I beat all 5 pieces of chicken in my bag and I never had a problem with it splattering. The whole thing of putting it into the plastic bag is to make sure you don't make a mess. You don't want this all over your counter or splattering all over you or anything around you. And the bag works really well. You just go ahead and beat the heck out of the chicken. And you're going to do this for each piece that you have until you've gotten all 5 of them done. If you have to, make sure you spread this out properly before you start pounding, so that way you actually get them to spread evenly when you're pounding them in the bag. And it doesn't take much effort to pound these. I have a meat tenderizing hammer. You can easily get these, they're not expensive. And just go ahead and work your way through all 5 of these. Now if you see in the bottom corner of the video, I have a bowl already ready with buttermilk in it, which I have a 1.5 cups of buttermilk. You can add more if you need it per the chicken you're using, or less if you have less pieces to do. This just worked out right for me because it was the right amount for the amount of chicken I had. So I am working my way through to the end of the chicken right now, and once this is pounded out, we're going to be ready for the buttermilk. Now once you get them in the buttermilk, you want to make sure that you get them evenly coated all the way across each piece of chicken. You want this to actually soak in. It's going to flavor your chicken, but also once you take it out of it, it's going to help any of the ingredients you put on the outside stick to the chicken. What you want to do is get your chicken coated and then put a cover on this, put it in your refrigerator and let it sit for a couple hours. That way your chicken has had a chance to get the flavoring from the buttermilk. Now you're going to need a large Ziploc bag, because to this we're going to add 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 3 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and then we're going to use 3 teaspoons of chicken seasoning. Now the chicken seasoning basically is to get the MSG from it, but it also is going to give you some flavor. So zip your bag up, shake this all up, because we want to mix all these ingredients together. If you wanted to add some salt to this, which is an optional thing, you can add that as well. Once you get this done, unzip it a little bit, get the air out, set it to the side, and then in another bowl you are going to add 2 eggs, which are already mixed up, a 1/3 cup of water, and a 1/2 cup of hot sauce. Now this is going to get you medium hot. If you want hot, you're going to have to add more hot sauce and probably turn up like your pepper that you're putting in this, like cayenne pepper or paprika. But go ahead and mix this up once you've got your bowl together. I was just going for medium hot on this. Some people like hotter, some people don't. I could have gone hotter and actually liked it, but for now, we're just going to mix this up. Now you're going to do a little system here. Open up your bag that has your flour mixture in it, and you're going to take your chicken out of your buttermilk and put it into the bag. And then when you get in there, shake it up so you're getting flour all over that piece of chicken. And then when you're done with that, you're going to take that chicken, shake off the excess flour, and dip it in your hot sauce mix. And then once you get it all coated, you're going to bring it back to the flour again and shake it up one more time. So that way it's got another coating of flour on the outside. So you get a really even coating of flour, and it's kind of a thick breading, which is good. Shake off the excess. Make sure if underneath you had a red spot, you get it coated. And once you get it completely coated, set it onto a platter to the side. And that is going to be ready for frying soon. So we're going to do this with each one of the pieces. And again, put it in the bag, shake it up, make sure each piece of the chicken breast is coated, because you want this breading to be all over your chicken. You don't want like open spots. Go ahead for the hot sauce again, and then once more into your flour mixture and shake it up again. You're going to do this for all 5 pieces that I had. If you have more chicken, then you do more than that. The good thing about this, it doesn't even have to be chicken that you're using for a chicken sandwich. You could do this just with regular chicken to fry. So you're going to get a pan ready. I put at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches of oil in it, heated it up to 350 degrees, and put a couple pieces of chicken at a time. I use 3 pieces because they fit in. If your chicken is bigger, you might not be able to put as many in. You don't want to overload your skillet. You just go ahead and put in as much that fits comfortably. And you're going to cook this for several minutes until it starts to brown on one side and you get that golden look to it. I turn mine over after about 5 minutes. So just keep checking it, make sure that it's cooked thoroughly. You do not want raw chicken. But as you're cooking this, you can tell as it's getting golden that it is cooking and it's approaching being done. The best thing about this is the coating on the outside of it, the breading mix, the hot sauce and everything really adheres to the chicken. And as you're cooking, you don't have a problem with your outsides falling off. I've had chicken before where I saw that the breading would just flake off, break off as you're moving it around. This holds really well as you're cooking it. You're not going to want to turn it continuously though. Cook it on one side for 5 or more minutes. Just kind of look underneath to see how golden brown it's getting before you turn it. And then flip it over and let it sit. Don't just keep turning it back and forth, because then you might actually knock some of your breading off. And the breading is holding a lot of flavor in this case. You really want it to hold on to everything it has. So cook it until you know that it's completely done. If you have a meat thermometer, check the temperature to make sure that it's to a point where you think it's done. And just usually 10 minutes will do it for everything. Just check it. It depends on how thick your chicken is. Sometimes the chicken will be thicker than others. My chicken was pretty thick because even when I pounded it out, it still was thick. But it is amazing when you put it onto the bun and whatever ingredients, if you want to put mayonnaise, whatever with it. Usually people put mayonnaise and pickle chips on these, and they are so great. But this reminded me so much of Popeye's chicken, and I was like, well, this is great, because buying chicken out today is kind of expensive, but making this at home really is not as bad as it could be. You can make these for your whole family at a reasonable amount of money. And when it's done, this is what it looks like on a bun. I actually cut up some potatoes and made fries, and this is the end result. And this is an amazing, great tasting meal. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys soon.